Martins.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to Grassroot Chats. It's me, your host, MC SaabiiBoi, and my co-host, Dwayne P. Frank. And of course, we have the lads in the building. The handsome Big Steve, and of course, the not so handsome Mike Wilson.
No, fire you.
All right, man. It's been International Week. This weekend it's been a drag. However, there are loads of things I want to talk about from the previous weeks to come. The first thing I want to address is a very simple understanding about a certain player. Now, this player, in my opinion, I think is quite good. He's above decent. He's wonderful. He's impressed ever since he has come onto the scene. But there seems to be like mixed opinions and mixed feelings about this guy. Now, this guy was founded by a certain Frank Lampard, no other than Mason Mount. Now, Mason Mount is making waves because some people don't think he's good enough. Some people don't think he's actually even good enough for Chelsea, not to mention England. And of course, there are very split opinions here and there. In my opinion, I think he's wonderful. I think he's one of them players that does simple things, exactly what the coach tells him to do. And he's a good player with the ball, without the ball, steady hustle, knows what to do, impact in the game, creating things, scoring goals. But for some reason, some people don't think he's a thing. Some people think, oh, he was given a handout by Frank Lampard. However, Tuchel comes along and endorses Mason Mount, and for some reason, oh yeah, everybody's happy with him all of a sudden. So, Big Steve, what do you think about Mason Mount?
He's a good player. I can't say that he's not. Do I think he's getting? I generally think English players get more plaudits than they deserve, to be honest.
Really? Even Mason Mount?
Yeah. The English players are always rated higher than what I actually think their talent deserves. There's a lot of hype around them. He's a decent player. Is there better players out there? Yes.
Mention the better players that have come onto the scene like he did and his time.
Not English ones. Not English ones.
All of the above.
All of the above. Better players than Mason Mount. I'd have to think about that one.
You see, you need to understand that Mason Mount was given a chance with Derby when Frank Lampard went there. And then he did really well. He was clearly above the championship. Came back to the Premier League. Frank Lampard brings him on. And he has been doing really well since then. So maybe you might have a point in terms of, oh yeah, English players are a bit. But then that's probably because we're in England. So I'm pretty much guessing that French players are in France.
Yeah, I think that he's a. Don't get me wrong, he's a good player. He's lucky for him. He's lucky that he had Frank Lampard. I don't think he would have got the exposure at Derby and then at Chelsea if it was another manager.
Well, Mike, What do you think? Do you think Steve is right? Do you think if it wasn't for Frank Lampard, we wouldn't even know about Mason Mount?
He gave me a shot. You can't deny he gave me a shot.
And he took a shot.
Yeah, he took it. So whether or not he would have got it with somebody else, if he's playing for Burnley or something like that, he probably would have. If you're saying he might not have got a shot at Chelsea, then yeah, that's a possibility because they don't tend to bring through young players in general, to be honest. But that's not particular to Mason Mount. That's Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne. The list goes on. They didn't bring hardly any players. Only Frank, Salah, yeah. Only Frank's been bringing through those players of late, to be honest, because he had no choice really, because he had no budget.
And a ban.
And he's English as well, so that probably didn't. With regard to if he's a top player, I mean, yeah, I think he is a top player. I would always ask who's better in terms of who has more of an impact right now and who is more effective. Not necessarily because I'm sure there's better ballers than Mason Mount, perhaps. From the top of my head, that I'll definitely say who's English, who say, oh yeah, definitely him over Mason Mount in that position. Definitely not playing for England at the moment. So it's like I would say, it's, you know, sometimes when I always call it best of the worst. So sorry. So you know, sometimes you're in a room full of girls, yeah, and basically they're a bit bad, but actually at one point you just got to pick one that's the best looking out of the bad bunch, and suddenly she becomes the nicest. That's basically how it goes with Mason Mount, isn't it? Ain't nobody better. He's top boy till somebody else comes.
No, seriously, no.
Don't act like you don't do it. Don't act like you don't do it. You know it.
No. First of all,
right. But if it wasn't
The best of a bad bunch.
first of all, I think that's just like terrible when it comes to Mason Mount. So first, okay, Chelsea had a budget freeze. They couldn't a transfer freeze. They couldn't get new players in. So Frank was like, you know what? Let's use what I have. But then this is where I'm not a big fan of statistics. I only bring it in when you actually need to bring it in. But
that's
then
because you can't count.
yeah, well, maybe. But the point is, numbers wise, creativity is wonderful. What's it called? Actual work in the game. The numbers have shown that he's doing really well. Dwayne, do you actually agree with what Mike is saying that he's the best of the bunch? He's that girl that every other girl is, doesn't have much substance. They're like, oh my God, look at Mason Mount. Do you actually believe he's one of those?
Nah, he's not. He's not. I rate this guy highly, and the way that I look at these up and coming players, I always think to myself, especially if they're in a Premiership, can you make it in different leagues with different styles of football? I look at Mason Mount, and I certainly think he can make it in the likes of La Liga, Bundesliga, in Serie A as well, and that's what I always look at because. Sorry, Mike.
But they're a little bit dead, those leagues.
What Mike is trying to say is that the Premier League is the top of the top, and that those other leagues are not as wonderful. But then that actually suits well with what Dwayne is saying, because if he's doing it in the Premier League, he can do it in other leagues. Don't you agree?
But most of them can. But most of them can. That doesn't just apply to Mason Mount.
Yeah, but we're talking about Mason Mount now.
Just saying, innit?
Yeah. Well, anyway, continue doing. Don't mind Mike.
So in regards to Mason Mount, I love his. I think you know what you summed up. He's an all-round player. I love the fact that his guile is there, his hunger is there. He's diminutive, but he's got a lot of strength. It's very difficult to bounce this guy off the ball. If you watch this guy, the way that he plays, he's not the best header of the ball. I'll give him that. He's not the best header of the ball. But I do like the fact that he likes to get into the box late. He will chip in with a few goals as well. Overall, I like this guy a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. I like this guy a lot. And he would get into a lot of teams in the Premiership. I think he'd find a way to get in a Man City team. I don't know how, but he'd do it.
Ooh, well. First of all, I like the fact that you said he'll get into a lot of teams. I like that. But then you throw in Man City. Well, I don't know, because a lot of questions can be asked. Is he better than Foden? Is he better than a whole lot of other players? But Steve, will he walk into the Arsenal team? Will he walk into the Arsenal team? That is the question right there.
Would he walk into the Arsenal team?
Will he walk into the Arsenal team? Mike looks like he wants to explode. But Big Steve,
would he walk into the? I'm trying to think. I don't know about walk into the team. Okay. I don't think he'll walk into the team. If you're gonna play him alongside Xhaka, but then that's him out of position. That's not his position.
Would you take him over Odegaard?
No.
Or would you take him over ESR? Because those are the two positions.
I wouldn't take him over Odegaard. ESR will take him over because he's more proven than ESR. So that's in terms of that he's had the season at Derby and followed it up by Chelsea.
So then he'd be on our bench then.
Well, I like that question, Mike. So the next question for you is, what is Mason's? So where does Mason Mount play? What's his position?
For Chelsea, he looks like he plays multiple positions. So plays central at times, but he also plays like wide. So I haven't seen him much. Him playing for Tuchel, but he looks like he plays. It's between the two, the wide and then a late returner into the box on central. But I think he's versatile. I think similar to ESR. ESR started central, but he now plays wide for. I think you can put him anywhere, to be honest.
Well, Big Steve has said he doesn't think he'll walk in. He does think he might replace ESR because he's proven. Dwayne, what do you think? Will he walk into the Aston Villa team or any other team in the Premier League? You actually believe he'll find a way into the Man City team. So if he finds a way into that team, he must find a way into every other team.
You walk into Aston Villa's team, light work, man. What are we talking? That's not even a debate. My guy, he'll make his way past Samson. He'll make his way past Barkley right now. Barkley's having a horrible part of the season at this present moment in time. No, McGinney wouldn't get past because McGinney has a specific role as far as the team's concerned. So if I'm talking about the guys with the guile, the attacking midfielders, yeah, he's going to get into this team. If we're looking at the front three for Aston Villa right now, take Grealish out of the equation because he's injured. But is he going to get past El Ghazi at the moment? Yeah, he will. Traore is having arguably a better point at the moment in time. Ghazi had 5 goals in 4 games, but right now, yeah, Mount gets into the Aston Villa team, man. Middle midfield or front three, definitely.
I like it how. So when I'm asking this question, you guys are comparing them player for player. Now look at it this way: you're a manager. You want to buy a midfielder that will actually come into the team and can create a whole lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about. You're looking to enhance your team. Don't worry about comparing them like for like, who's better, who's not better, yada, yada, yada. Will Mason Mount walk into any team to enhance the team? And that's the question
Yes.
right there.
No. He will improve the
squad.
He will improve the team. What, Villa? Yeah. Everton? Maybe. Well, that's even debatable. Someone like Villa, someone like that, maybe even Tottenham, to be honest. But certain teams, to be honest, it depends on the teams. Some teams, yeah, it will because he's the missing factor. But Arsenal, not that Arsenal are super nine, but he's not going to improve Arsenal. Like, he probably won't improve. I mean, he might improve Man United, to be honest. Who have you got? Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes, Pogba.
It is a question for you. Would he, if Chelsea's signings in the summer did work out the way they expected him to, and the level of investment, would he be in that side?
Well, that is a good question. However, I think he has been wonderfully protected because of his utility. So in terms of him being so versatile in the middle, he has not had to worry about the likes of Ziyech, what's his name, Timo Werner, Havertz. And Timo Werner and Havertz have struggled in terms of when it comes to the pace and physicality of the league. I mean, you can tell that they are good players, but they struggle. You can actually, when you look at Havertz, when he makes a run and those defenders chop him up, you can look at him just go like, "Mama, why am I here? This is." And then you see the like of David Luiz trying to slap him up and all those kind of players from Stoke and all them, and you just see him going, "No, this is not. Sorry, not Stoke, Burnley." And you can see him just go, "No. This is not the league for me." But I think, as you said, Mason Mount proved that he was a class ahead of the Championship. He has come to the Premier League. He played well consistently under Frank Lampard. Tuchel dropped him for that one game initially, but then he has proven himself, and he seems to be a constant in England. I mean, there's a headline, the fact that he's not playing for England tomorrow night. There's a worry, kind of, I think. But
is it?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, there's always a worry when the top player is not playing, but then you guys don't seem to place him among the creme de la creme. So now that actually takes me to my next question. So there are loads of players that are coming up right now. So there are a couple of players that have come into my mind, and for some reason, even before they kicked the ball, people were very, "Oh my God, this guy is so wonderful." What is the difference, Dwayne, between Mason Mount and Odegaard? What is the difference? Because Mason Mount has more numbers than that guy, at least as far as we know.
For me right now, Mason Mount is the guy who's going to give you more production. If we're talking about who is the classier player, we've got to go with Odegaard, 100%. But if
define class.
So when I say class, do you know what? Maybe I'm using the wrong word. If we're talking about a guy who's going to come with finesse, okay, then we've got to talk about the likes of Odegaard, the likes of Havertz, and what have you. Now, I personally don't think we're going to see the best of Odegaard until maybe next season. I think. Well, do you know what? For the grace of the Premiership, I hope Arsenal get Odegaard permanently, because I want to see a lot more of Odegaard, because I watch a lot of La Liga. I've seen him tear it up for Real Sociedad for the last couple of years, and I want to see a similar thing for Arsenal, because I think collectively we want to see Arsenal back in the top 4. They need to be a Champions League. That's where they belong. Okay,
so no, a lot of us.
Right, well, we can agree to disagree on that. But for me, I want Champions League is not Champions League without Arsenal. It's weird. They were there for 16, 20 years or whatever they were straight. It's weird. So for me, I want to see Odegaard progress, evolve, and become that player that everyone wants to see him as. I don't think he's there yet, and that's why if we're talking about productivity and impact, I'm going with Mount still.
Steve, next season, Mason Mount, Odegaard, who do you pick for your team?
Odegaard.
Why?
He's just a better player.
Ooh.
from what I've seen already in this league and what I've seen of him, he's a better player.
So what you're telling me right now is from the Mason Mount that you have described from Derby to the Mason Mount that we saw last season, to the Mason Mount this season, and to the Mason Mount that is actually playing for England, without even the thought process, you go straight for Odegaard. And Odegaard
Yes.
you've probably seen for about a couple of games. Yes, you might have seen Miro Sociedad, but you go for Odegaard.
Yeah, just by what I've seen him do, even if I'm just looking at his Arsenal, what he's done with Arsenal, the way he's come in and what he's brought to the side, and he's not even fully up to speed with the league or the players around him. And then if I'm comparing it to Mason Mount's had a managed career through Derby, through Chelsea, to where he is now, through to England. Yeah, he's had a lot of fortune in terms of the managers and the managers and the times. I'm not saying he hasn't earned it, but at the end of the day, if Frank Lampard didn't go from Derby to Chelsea, Nelson Mount wouldn't be playing at Chelsea.
But that's true. A lot of players.
But that's what I'm trying to say. So he's had a fortunate path. Yes, he's good. Yeah, but in terms of Derby to Chelsea, to the exposure he's got, in my view, it's a fortunate path. Whereas if I'm comparing to Odegaard, he's just a better player in my view, from what I've seen.
Mike, let me ask you this. So Steve thinks Mason Mount has had a fortunate path. Hasn't Odegaard had the same path though?
No, but wait, let's have it right. Do we think and Odegaard might be a better player? Fine. I think they're slightly different anyway.
No. Do you think he's a better player? There's no might here. Do you think he's a better player or not?
I think that the perception is he's a better player. I'll tell you why the perception is he's a better player. So he's come from Real Madrid and he's already got that stamp of class. He's a classy player. He's like an Ozil. He's like a because he's done for Real, but he hasn't done more than what Mason Mount's done in the Premiership. But because he has that aura of having class and he's a classy playmaker, we think he's automatically better than Mount, and to be fair, better than ESR. But that's what we think he's going to be. He hasn't proven that yet to a degree. You can see the signs that he probably is a better player, but he hasn't proved it yet to my satisfaction. But I feel like he will prove it eventually. The reason why I wouldn't take Mason Mount at Arsenal is purely because he's got more, as Dwayne says, production. We've got ESR for him. So why would you then go and get Mason when even if Mason Mount's better than he's not much miles better, and we've got Odegaard anyway. So it makes sense to take him to Arsenal. The question I'd ask you though, would you take him to Man United?
See, first of all, that's
to you, Julian.
This is the thing. This is the problem.
It's no problem. It's
no, ladies and gentlemen, what these guys don't understand is I'm a neutral guy. I'm the host.
No, you're a co-host with Dwayne. So if you ask Dwayne questions, why can't you answer the question?
Dwayne is a different expertise. There's a different expertise. I'm just putting pieces together. However, Mason Mount in Manchester United. Let's be real here, man. Let's be real. He's not. He only has certain positions he can play for Man United. Certain positions, and in every position that he could possibly play, we have a player to fill our spot. He's not going to get in over Paul Pogba. He's not going to get in over Bruno Fernandes. We also have Donny van de Beek that's on the bench.
Is he any good though?
Well, so far he's up and down, but he has not been given that much time to prove himself. But clearly, from what we've seen from Ajax, playing for the Dutch team, he's clearly good. Now, there's no point, as you said, there's no point buying a player that's going to add to the squad when he's not actually going to improve the team. Because we also have, we still use our academy. We still have all the boys that are coming up from there. So, will he be Man United? I don't think so. I definitely don't think so.
So he's not getting to Arsenal. He's not getting to Man United. He's not getting to
Are you going to Liverpool?
Oh no.
He's
He's
not
not.
getting into.
He's definitely not.
Is he getting to Tottenham?
Well, the thing is, we are saying all this based on if we were the managers and based on what we see. But if we look at based on numbers, he probably will walk into most teams in this season.
But is he a game changer or is he just a steady like contributor? Like he'll get you numbers, and he'll win you some games, I presume. But is he a game changer yet?
Yeah, well,
Like,
you do have
like
players that will give you the numbers, but they're not necessarily game changers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's one of those. You start him on the pitch, he will do things, but I don't know. Will he, when things are going really, really down, he might create stuff, but he's not. He doesn't have the X factor where you go. For example, he doesn't have the X factor like the ESRs. As far as I'm concerned, in the Arsenal team, ESR has more X factor than even Odegaard because there's certain things he will do, there's certain runs he will make, there's just certain things he will do. Or
I prefer
nobody has more X factor on the Arsenal team right now than Tierney. Nobody. There's no. You could be whoever you need to be, but Aubameyang, whoever. But once Tierney touches that ball, wears those short sleeve T-shirts in winter, where everybody else is freezing, the man is just so. But I personally think Mason Mount is way better than average. I think he has justified his selections, but I don't know why everybody else looks at the other direction.
Yeah, he's just a good player. He's just a player, not exceptional, but he's a very good player.
Well, Mike has just described what Mason Mount is. Steve, how will you describe Mason Mount?
Follow this same line. He's a good player.
That's it.
I don't think he's exceptional. I don't think. Yeah, for me, he doesn't light up. His name's not in lights. For me, he's a good player. He's a very good player.
So good player. Dwayne?
I don't think his name has to be in lights. I think the guy is very, very effective at what he does. He can punish you, man. He can punish you home or away. He's got a lot of guile. His all-round game is very strong, and I can only see him getting better. The guy's still young, man. He's going to evolve.
No one's writing him off. But you know what's really funny and quite subjective is if he played for our team, our respective teams, we would suddenly give him an extra 10, 20%. He'd suddenly be a better player just for the fact that he plays for your team. Not even that you watch him more, just for your team. So if we had a Chelsea guy on there, I'm sure he'd be singing the praises of Mason Mount no end. But
True.
Well, we would have to find a Chelsea guy, but that would be hard, man. That would be hard. I just see some bitterness coming into the show with all these Chelsea guys.
They've all disappeared since they went off the boil. They'll come back in a minute.
All right, they'll come back in a minute. Well, speaking about since we're talking about a Chelsea player, and we're going all the way to West Chelsea, West London, we are going to come to North London, people. North London. We're going to talk about arguably the best team in North London, Tottenham. So it's I know Big Steve and Mike are very happy about that statement. You know, arguably the best team.
Didn't we beat them last?
Yeah, you did.
This guy. Let it talk.
But if I remember, they beat you though, the first leg as well. So I mean, just saying. Okay, simple question. Simple question. And I know this is gonna be difficult for Big Steve and Mike. You know, you have to put a Tottenham hat on. So I'll start with Dwayne. If you're Harry Kane, would you leave Tottenham?
100% yes. It's not even a debate. You've got to leave Tottenham. Tottenham are unfortunately going absolutely nowhere at this moment in time. Boy, you've just got to. If at the end of the day, if you're a footballer, you are here to win trophies. That's what you're here for. You know, you don't want a same career as Matthew Le Tissier. We can talk about Matthew Le Tissier and what he did beforehand. Outstanding player. What did he win? Absolutely nothing.
You're not even challenging. It's not about winning. You're not even challenging to even be able to win.
Exactly. So for me, if I'm Harry Kane and I've hit peak time and I am classed by my peers as one of the best strikers in the world at this present moment in time, top 5, top 10 sort of area, I need to go prove that, and I need to go win some trophies. I need to regularly be fighting for the Premiership or La Liga or Champions League. I don't need to be pussyfooting around. I know I'm going to get mashed up in the League Cup was it called Carabao Cup against Man City? I don't want that. Well,
No, yeah.
I want to be the one that's actually there, and I want to be, hitting some serious target. No. There's no debate. The guy needs to leave Tottenham. If he stays at Tottenham, he's not going nowhere.
Okay, so Dwayne agrees that Harry Kane needs to leave Tottenham. However, I'll ask you this, Steve. I'll ask you this. If Tottenham beats Man City in the Carabao Cup final, and Dwayne,
Not happening.
and I'm talking to Steve. I'm talking to Steve. if Tottenham beats Man City in the Carabao Cup final, and Harry Kane actually puts his hand on the trophy, should he stay one more season? Should he actually think, we might get more players? They can actually push for more titles.
Regardless of the result of that cup final, yeah, Harry Kane should know what Tottenham need to give him in order for him to stay. And if that's a case of signing certain players, even a change of manager, yeah, but he should already know what it would take for him to stay. The Carabao Cup shouldn't make a player of what everyone says Harry Kane's ability is stay at a club. All right. If he doesn't go, in my view, he lacks belief in himself that he can be the best striker in the world or one of the best strikers in the world, because he would just push for a move to get out of that situation. Put another top striker or even player in his current position, they will look to stay there. They'll engineer the move. When they think they've reached the ceiling, they'll move on. Say again?
Steven Gerrard.
There you go, Steven Gerrard. That's a good example.
Gerrard's slightly different.
He should have moved.
Gerrard's slightly different. No, he should have moved, but Gerrard's slightly different because he actually loved the club and was there from birth. But he still should have moved. And I still say that again.
I know that Harry don't love Tottenham. Feel like he looks like it.
I don't think he's on the same level.
Well,
I don't think that's my opinion. I don't think it's on the same level. But also, English players do lack that to me. And you saw it with players like Matt Letizia in the past. They're really good in that bubble. But do they say, all right, I'm the #1 striker in the world. I need to be playing for Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Man United, Man City, at a club that's bringing me trophies or putting me in the. Say again.
I was gonna say, but has anybody actually bid for Harry Kane? We're talking about like you can just get up and go and play for Barcelona.
But you could engineer the move, innit? If you want to go somewhere, you engineer the move.
No, but that's if you're brave. But let me take.
But that was my point. If he believes in himself, I think he engineers the move to get out of the club.
So I like Mike. I like what you asked. It's not like, first of all, nobody has actually made a move for this guy at the moment. And Steve is saying he can engineer a move. He needs to have some belief in himself and all that story. First of all, you might have all the belief in this world in yourself, but if nobody comes for you, you're going to be at that same club. So, and that's one. And of course, without all this, money being a situation, the pandemic, clubs are very, should we make a move and all that. So, Big Steve and Dwayne actually believe Harry Kane should move. Mike, let's assume he should move. Where should he go?
United.
That's it. Just nothing else. Why Man United? Why Man United?
He don't look like the type that wants to go abroad. So I see him going abroad.
Yeah, but why Man United? Why not Chelsea? Why not Man City? Aguero is leaving. Why don't he go?
I mean, he could go to City. I just think for a while now it looks like he's suited the Man United style, isn't it? When they just get the ball down the wings and cross it like 4-4-2 and all that crap. So I think he'd just suit Man United. Personally, not that he couldn't play for another team like Man City, but if Man City wanted him, they'd have went for him. Maybe this season they might, but we've always talked on this show already about them looking at Haaland. And so, would you get Haaland or would you get Kane? Haaland's younger as well, by the way.
Yeah, so, but you probably will go for a proven striker.
Haaland looks pretty proven at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah, but he's still young. So the way I'm looking at this so Dwayne, you think he should leave? And Steve also believes if he doesn't leave, he doesn't believe in himself and all that story. What happens if he stays? Play out the scenario for me if he stays in Tottenham?
If he stays at Tottenham, we could have Matthew Letizia 2.0. It's going to be a very, very sad career. I mean, a lot of people when you talk about Matt Letizia, for example, people remember the goal where he flicked it over one guy and then went in top corner against, I think, Blackburn, or he's known for just missing one penalty. You know, the guy didn't. No one cares about anything else. No one, you know, it wasn't even an illustrious England career. There was nothing there. You know, so you know, do you, as Harry Kane, do you want to be that guy? No, you don't. You know, even if Steve's right, even if they win the Carabao Cup, unlikely, but you know, if it happens, you still got to leave. Sometimes you got to say as a player, I've taken you as far as I can. There's nothing else I can do with you guys. You know, there's nothing you can do.
But what if he loves the club to the extent like Gerrard did, and he feels if I can win something with this club. Obviously, Gerrard did win stuff, just not the Prem.
Isn't he an Arsenal fan?
All these people say they're fans of whatever, but it doesn't matter who you're a fan of. Who this is who he works for, isn't it?
No, what I'm saying is, if he's an Arsenal fan, how's he going to love Tottenham?
Well, why is he still there then? Why was he going in the first place if you love Arsenal that much?
I don't know. I don't know the reason why he's gone there, but I'm just saying, you know, if he's an Arsenal fan, he's not going to love Tottenham to the extent that we might be talking about. But for me, if I'm Harry Kane, there's a certain clubs that I'm going to try and get to. I'm going to try and get to Man United because it looks like they're not going to keep Cavani, and they need a striker to go through the middle. I'm going to try to get to Chelsea because it seems like they don't really like Tammy Abraham too tough. They don't really want to play Werner. They don't really want to play Havertz through the middle. Okay, I'm going to try to get to Man City because Aguero's leaving. Right, I'm going to try to get to one of these sort of clubs. I'll try to get to Liverpool. I'll even try to get Liverpool because at the end of the day, if you go Liverpool, you're taking up a Firmino.
You're talking about how you are, but there's certain people who may or may not be on this forum right now. Yeah, let's say there's a girl you want to get to. You want to get with, right?
What is with you and all this girl stuff?
Well, hold on. There's a girl you want to get to. Certain man like Dwayne will approach it. Boom. Certain man who think they're a pretty boy, yeah, will just sit back and wait, and the opportunity will pass them by unless the girl asks him for a dance. And that's what Harry Kane is doing. Unless someone comes in for Harry Kane nowhere. He ain't agitating for no move to get his ego bruised.
That's what I mean. Harry Kane, he's happy to. It seems like he's happy to break records at Tottenham and for England.
Until somebody comes in, and then when somebody comes in for him, then he'll feel like he's back in the world. But until then, he ain't do nothing.
With the news that came out yesterday, with Aguero leaving Man City, he should be getting hell bent to try and get in that side.
100%.
Because there's a project there, right? Even if he stays at Tottenham in the Carabao Cup, he has no guarantee that Mourinho's going to stay there. Is there a project there? Is there's going to be say again?
But don't you want as a player? You want somebody to want you, though, innit? You want someone to come in for you, not for you to be begging it. Oh, can I come play for your team?
But he's not. If you believe in yourself really and truly that you can prove it anywhere outside of in another club, then you know that they want you.
Yeah, but
if they want you, they come in for you.
So I get the idea of begging, and I get the idea of people wanting you. But then, if we're sticking to Man City, it's a very simple question. Is he a Pep Guardiola type of player?
Yes, he is. He is now. Because of what's happened this season, the way he's playing, and the way he's playing, and the goal he's bringing to the table, he is now 100% a Man City player. He is a player for any club right now. He has seriously evolved. I'm not joking. This guy can play at any club in the world because of the way he's evolved. 100%.
How much will it cost?
So that evolution has a lot to do with Mourinho. And with Mourinho having his style of play, a lot of managers probably wouldn't have even seen that. But as Mike has said, I just want one figure. Just one figure. Don't give me any story in blah, blah, blah. How much will you bid for him, Steve? How much will you bid for him?
Okay. 100.
Mike?
Yeah, it's at least 100.
No. Give me a figure. Don't tell me at least
101 pounds, just like Wenger did with
101 pounds. And Dwayne?
£90. I mean, £90. 90 million.
I think you might say something to you if you said £90.
I know. No, I bid £90 million. You'll make that money back through sponsorship, endorsements, everything. Shirt sales.
The reason
I